I'm depressed. Hopefully Shinosuke had a good birthday, it's time to get back into trouble. Kaen is participating in a briefing about the death of a speculator. Everyone is keen on looking for a human culprit, but Jen notices that they reported slowdown at the scene. Also, the culprit managed to not be seen in midday by a house full of people and remove the murder weapon from the victim's hands. And everyone laughed at him. Again, this makes no sense. Okay, I get it. The police is a butt joke in Japan, but this goes past incompetence. This is insanity! And just like me, Jen has had enough. But for once, even in the SCU, they don't believe it was a Roadmute. And Kiriko took a day off to prepare for her brother's return from overseas, leaving just Gen and Shinosuke to investigate. As they do, a photographer in white appears and takes a picture of Shinosuke, and then immediately starts getting on his nerves. He proposes a competition to see who can catch the culprit first. Before Shinosuke can question him further though, he disappears with a display of athleticism that's very reminiscent of Kiriko, isn't it? Anyway, Gen managed to find a person who saw the culprit's face. They track him to his workplace and Ben Hill happens. A tragic slowdown one, since he causes Gen to fall to his death before attacking Shinosuke. Our hero gets away thanks to the shift cars, transforms into type technique and attacks the monster instead of saving Gen's son? What? And don't give me the he's trying to stop me from doing that scenes. He shouldn't have attacked the guy in the first place. But fortunately for Gen-san, slowdown also reduces gravity and any force of acceleration to zero. A brief comedy sketch later, not having new leads on their suspect, Shinosuke asks Kyu to investigate his presence online. They discover that the guy had been screwed over pretty bad by the victim and that gives them a motive, but Shinosuke also observes that he's a pretty ordinary guy for a Roadmute to impersonate. And speaking of not ordinary guys, the white photographer appears again. He distracts Kyo with a picture of the Roadmute and reveals to Shinosuke that 1. He was on the scene of his fight, 2. He knows his drive, and 3. He's not able to go a few minutes without doing something with his body. Anyway, the race is on to who can get to the culprit first. Gen found his hideout and thanks to Rina-san's new project is immune to slowdowns, which we see were caused by a bracelet that the man had on him. Coupled with the fact that the monster was left-handed, the 2 cops plus Looney photographer conclude he's not a Roadmute, and Looney is fitting since he's literally knocking Shinosuke's toads away with a giant hammer. Bugs Bunny here already knew about the bracelet because he saw when the Roadmute gave it to the culprit, and he also took a picture of his human disguise. Before they can start arguing about what kind of hunting season it is with Gen, slowdown happens and the Roadmute attacks. From his words, we can guess that he's one of the overseas Roadmutes who are now coming back to Japan. Also, that he's fought a Kamen Rider who's not Shinosuke. Before he can inquire further though, Kiriko appears. The photographer reappears as well, alongside an overseas shift car, Amazing Circus, and if you still haven't gotten it by this point, I'll be extremely disappointed. Of course, the mysterious guy is a Kamen Rider. The most showboating one I've ever seen. Also, he doesn't transform with shift cars but with signal bikes, into Kamen Rider Mach, who should stop with his intro already and start kicking some ass, which he does, but even so, he doesn't stop acting like he's in a circus tent. He eventually decides to stop clowning around and inflict the final blow, a full throttle Mach kick. But the number doesn't disappear this time, instead, it's absorbed by Medic, who Belt-san reveals has the power to revive her comrades. She gets away, and then we get the last revelation of this episode. Again, not exactly a revelation. Anyway, the new Kamen Rider is Kiriko's younger brother, called Go. But if it's not shocking to us, it's certainly so to Shinosuke. In the last scene, Medic revives Gunman by doing exactly what Hart did himself in episode 1? Anyway, the executors decide to help the American Roadmute with his plan, whatever it is, and then we're introduced to his little brother, who I can't really understand what is supposed to stereotype, but... The next episode opens with 3 masked rappers recording a message for the 2 Gunman brothers. I can't really describe it any way else. Then, in the Drive Cave, we find out that Mach is the creation of Belt-san's mentor, Professor Hendrickson. Mach was designed to be a next-gen drive, and Go picked as its user, but he left America on his own while the Professor was still fine-tuning it, which isn't what Kiriko's mad about. I guess Belt-san should have told her about her brother. A brother who is trying to play matchmaker between a backflip and another, which just creates more chaos. But we do get a little heart-to-heart between the 2 siblings. Go is not planning to move in with Kiriko and asks her to trust in his choices. But the talk is short-lived, since more people with slow bands, named copyrighted Meinos Kaen, have appeared. The 3 rappers from before who declared online they will rob a bank at a given time and place. The SCU decides to interrogate Todagawa, the last episode's culprit, about the slow bands, which is kind of pointless since Shinosuke again already know he got it from the Roadmute. Go told them. Even so, he doesn't remember anything about it. The slow band erased his memory when it broke. In a scene with the Executor, we find that the 2 American Roadmutes impersonated 2 underground traffickers. The S chase to protect the 2 until the younger sibling can evolve, but chases questions this time. His number being 0, not having a memory before the global freeze, just what is he? But Hart abuses Chase's trust in him to make him accept a non-answer, and as the time for the robbery approaches, the 3 rappers get intercepted by Mach, who causes a slowdown of his own. Shinosuke and Belt-san rush to the place and... attack him? What? Why? No, seriously, why? He caused a slowdown, stopped the robbers and destroyed the bracelets. Why the hell did Shinosuke attack Go? What's his reasoning? And the reasoning is, inflicting slowdowns on people makes you just as bad as the Roadmutes? Because it terrifies them? What? Shinosuke, are you drinking on the job? But that doesn't mean anything! And Go counters with, dude, we're using their same power source to fight them, we're already pretty similar. Anyway, Kiriko arrives and they bring him into the SCU for a lecture. But Go corrupts everyone not in the known with rider pictures. They're forced to let him go, and then Belt-san explains that the match system takes a heavier toll on the user's body in exchange for further firepower, and Go left America before Hendrickson could find a way to solve that. Who knows why? That makes Shinosuke infer something from his words and also Gunman. Yes, the shift cars to look for Match. The overconfident idiot has gone into the enemy's lair on his own. He's quickly discovered and finds himself facing the Gunman brothers and Chase at the same time. A recipe for disaster, but Kiriko and Shinosuke arrive in time. The cop had guessed that the reason Go used slowdown was to interrogate the 3. That way, he was able to see where his targets, which he followed all the way from America, were. But Go's recklessness doesn't end here. While Drive deals with Chaser, the Gunman siblings attack Go, who doesn't transform! And the reason is he still didn't understand the younger sibling's power and didn't want to destroy him before he could. Which makes no sense at all, like him being the shock and awe finish quick fighter. You were dancing circles around Gunman last episode, did I imagine that? I mean, sure, now he's going all out, but maybe he just wanted to show off for Kiriko? He did call it his Japanese debut. Whatever, I think he's got a lawsuit coming anyway. Mario wants his bullet bill back! After showcasing all his signal bikes, Match finally finishes the 2. Chaser is more than up to fighting both riders at the same time, but Medic arrives and teleports him away. even if he probably wouldn't have had that much trouble with Go. He's cooked! The match system tires him out immensely, and he can't fight for as long as Shinosuke can, which explains why he wasn't transforming. The cop believes that there is a deeper reason to his reckless behavior than just being an idiot, something bigger. Because of that, they come to an understanding. Shinosuke will accept Go's help, and Go will accept Shinosuke's guidance, realizing that sometimes he does need someone to hold him back before he does something stupid. And that's how the episode ends. No, not acknowledging the gag about two girls beating up the nerd because he dared to come out of his room. Nope, trying my damnness not to. Fuck you, bitches. Okay, the most prominent thing on my mind first. Shinosuke, what you say doesn't make any sense. I could have understood if you had criticized Go's use of the slowdown for another reason, but because he scares people? There were so many other reasons, like he can't control the range, he can affect some things but not others and cause incidents. Maybe if he got any hints of that slowdown harms people in some way, but because it scares people? Dude, you're a cop. Use guns to apprehend criminals. Those are not scary, if anything. Slowdowns are less scary and more useful than guns. Mach stopped the 3 robbers without injuring them and managed to get information out of them before it was erased from their minds. Moving on, another thing. This one needs to die. The joke about, you believe this involves monsters, duh. It didn't make any sense the first time, it doesn't make any sense now. Stop using that joke. We're at episode 13. There has been documented crimes committed by Roadmutes all over the freaking planet. Suspicion and disbelief I can understand, but not fucking hilarity. People died, god fucking damn it. This goes way past a joke about cops being idiots. This goes directly to Japanese cops are all brain damaged and I have been dealing with people who don't change their minds even in front of evidence for the last 4 months. This is actually plausible. Fuck this world so much! Moving on from my renewed lack of faith in humanity, the new rider, Mach, however you pronounce that, which is so much a homage to the designs of Riders 1 and 2 that it's not funny, but it's cool. Scarf, bike and a very cool rider kick. Go is interesting, but he feels way too over the top all the time. He's way too cartoony, even more than the other members of the SCU, and that's saying something. And speaking of which, I don't understand if Rinna is upset that Kiriko and Shinosuke aren't sucking face, or she wants Shinosuke's drive stick for herself, if you know what I mean. And speaking of cute girls, I'm not impressed by Medic. Her healing is putting numbers in new barrel cores like Heart did. I mean, I guess the others can't store numbers in their bodies, but that ain't exactly healing, you know? Maybe she can produce barrel cores, and from what she did with Art's incredibly beefed up body, maybe she can also heal non-lethal injuries? Well, let's just say that the jury's still out on her. Like on the serious humor, I can't pass judgment on the jokes based on mistaken words because, not Japanese, but the scene in the dry pit from episode 13 was funny. The one at the end with Q, not so much. It's a mixed bag. Drive is weird like that. The quality is not constant. It's got a lot of highs, a few lows, but it never goes so low as to be terrible. Well, I like it so far, hope it doesn't let me down, and that's all for today, Rider fans. What do you think of these episodes and of our new rider? Is he interesting, or do you find him unbearable? I can see some people thinking that. Let me know in the comments or one of my social media accounts, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Jane!